We have the privilege here at AJC today of hosting Deputy Foreign Minister of Israel, Danny Ayalon, a dear friend of ours. Danny, welcome.
Thank you, David. Good to be here.
Let me guess that Iran is foremost on your mind, is it?
Absolutely, and it should be, not on our mind also, but also on the entire international community's mind, because Iran, first and foremost, is a threat for the entire international community with their relentless run to a nuclear capability, coupled with the delivery systems that can already cover not just the entire Middle East, but also a substantial portion of Europe, and on the drawing boards, delivery systems that can reach continental United States. So I think it's incumbent on everyone who is seeking stability and security to stop Iran. We very much appreciate the American-led international efforts, and of course we are part of it. But what is very worrying for us is that all these efforts still fall short of achieving the goal of stopping Iran. And I believe now is the time to ratchet up pressure, and there are still some tools in the international arsenal, economic and political ones, to do.
I wanted to ask you, do you see realistically the possibility of a non-military solution to this?
Absolutely.
And if so, how? What else needs to be done?
We know from past behavior of these Ayatollahs that as dangerous and fanatical as they are, they're not irrational completely when it comes to their own political survival, and they are capable of backing down almost on a turn of a dime. They have done it in 2003 when they suspended enrichment, and they have also backed down when they were told that it's completely unacceptable for them to block the Straits of Hormuz. So definitely, if they will really understand the seriousness that we have collectively, internationally, and if they will understand the unity of purpose and the credibility of our saying that Iran cannot be nuclear and will not be nuclear, and all options are on the table, which I'm not sure that they have internalized this. If they do, I believe there is a good chance to reach our goals without resorting to anything which is not political or economic.
So in that spirit, Danny, the president of Iran, Ahmadinejad, is coming to New York this week to address the UN General Assembly. Should he be received? Should he be rejected? How does that play out here in New York?
I think this is shameful, especially on the United Nations, for receiving a Holocaust denier who is planning another Holocaust, who has openly threatened wiping out another member state, namely Israel, against, by the way, the Charter of the UN. And there should be a response which merits the danger and outrageous remarks that he makes. He should not be allowed to come to the United Nations, and on the contrary, Iran, under this leadership of Ayatollahs, should be threatened to be suspended from the UN if they do not rescind these threats on Israel and the international community.
Speaking of which, also this week, President Abbas of the Palestinian Authority is coming to New York, and he's speaking on September 27th to the UN General Assembly. What do you expect him to say, and how would you hope the international community would react to his proposals?
Unfortunately, I do not expect any foresight, any leadership, any wisdom, any courage, any forward-looking from Abbas if he will repeat the things he said last year and his brazen attempt for a unilateral step in the UN, recognizing a member or a statehood for the Palestinians. Then I think not only it's dangerous, it's irresponsible, and I hope the international community will understand as such. I think if he gets the message, and this is the message that he should get, that go to the negotiation. The solution for the conflict will not be resolved in the UN halls or in any capital except Jerusalem or Ramallah. Go and meet the Israelis. We are ready to meet him, and we are ready to actually meet him more than halfway. And we have made painful concessions. We will continue to do that, but not if, on the one hand, he refuses negotiations, he makes excuses for not coming to the negotiations, and at the same time attacks us, delegitimizes Israel, incite against Israel, and going for unilateral steps. This will be really a blow to the entire process, and any responsible member state of the United Nations will not give hand and support to such irresponsibility, as they have not done so in many other cases. South Sudan, the latest member state that was accepted to the United Nations, and rightly so, was able to do that only after they have come to agreement with all their neighbors.
And the key word is
This
after.
the same case.
The key word is after.
Absolutely.
So speaking of the international community still, what lessons does Israel draw from the unfolding tragedy in Syria?
It is a tragedy, and Israel was expressing its shock and horror from the genocide in Syria. We have also offered some humanitarian help. We'll continue to do that. But there is a lesson, I think, for all of us, especially the Jewish people, is that any nation, unfortunately, especially a small nation, cannot really rely on the international community to act up in decency and come with solutions and protection and defense of the defenseless. And if they do that, it's certainly not in a timely manner. So for us, especially as we are now in this very important days of Rosh Hashanah, between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, I think the lesson for us is to always keep our capability of defending ourselves by ourselves, because nobody else will come to our help, as they didn't back last centuries in the 30s and 40s, or even before.
And finally, Danny, knowing how busy you are during your short stay in New York, what do you see as the role of American Jewry and organizations like AJC in confronting these regional and global challenges that face Israel today?
Well, I think worldwide Jewry, and specifically American Jewry, has a very, very significant and important role, and particularly the AJC. And we commend, David, your work and the AJC work for really speaking the truth and for meeting so many world leaders. And the role of AJC and the capability of AJC and the achievement of the AJC is really second to none in speaking out the truth, in suggesting what are the solutions for really a better world, a more decent one, a safer one. And what you have done in terms of strengthening the Jewish people, the state of Israel, and the great alliance between Israel and the United States, and also friendship of Israel with so many other nation states, is really indispensable. So this also allows me to take this opportunity to thank you personally, to thank the American Jewish Committee, and just keep up the great work that you're doing. We're always very grateful for that.
Danny, we wish you continued strength and Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
May it be a good year for all of us.
Absolutely.
Thank you.